Have you ever wondered if that tiny coin, sitting in your pocket or tucked away in an old jar, could actually be worth a fortune? Believe it or not, some of the rarest wheat pennies have shocked the world by selling for staggering prices. Not just thousands, but in some cases, millions of dollars. These are coins that many people once overlooked as ordinary, yet collectors today are battling to own them at record-breaking auctions. What makes these wheat pennies so valuable? Sometimes it's a minting mistake that slipped through unnoticed. Sometimes it's an incredibly low mintage that makes the coin nearly impossible to find. And other times it's the historical significance that drives collectors wild. Imagine finding one of these rare treasures in your pocket change. A single penny that could change your life forever. In this video, we're going to dive into the most valuable wheat pennies ever discovered, reveal the hidden details that make them worth a fortune, and show you exactly why these coins continue to capture the attention of collectors worldwide. So don't blink, because the penny you've been ignoring might just be the one that makes you rich. First, we will talk about the 1943 D, bronze wheat penny. This coin isn't just rare, it's practically a legend in the world of numismatics. In 1943, the United States Mint made a major change in penny production. Because copper was desperately needed for World War II, especially for making ammunition and military equipment, the mint stopped using the usual bronze alloy and began striking pennies out of zinc-coated steel. Millions of these steel cents were made, and they were supposed to completely replace copper that year. But at the Denver Mint, something unexpected happened. A single bronze planchet from 42 was accidentally left in the machinery and struck with the 1943 design. That mistake created one of the most valuable and mysterious coins in U.S. history, the 1943 D, bronze wheat penny. Unlike the common steel cents from the same year, this coin gleams with the warm reddish-brown tone of bronze, instantly standing out as an anomaly. What makes this penny so extraordinary is that it is believed to be absolutely unique. While a handful of 1943 bronze cents exist from the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints, only one known specimen from Denver has ever been confirmed. For decades, many collectors thought such a coin might exist, but no one had seen it. Its eventual discovery set the coin-collecting world on fire. The story doesn't stop there. Once authenticated and graded, this penny made history at auction and in private sales. It sold for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million, instantly cementing its place as one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever known. Collectors call it the Holy Grail of wheat pennies because owning it would mean holding the only one of its kind in existence. And with coin values constantly climbing, experts believe that if it reappears at auction, it could easily set a new world record. Now we will talk about the 1943 copper wheat penny. Just like the Denver version, this coin exists because of a minting mistake during World War II. In 1943, all pennies were supposed to be struck on zinc-coated steel planchets to save copper for the war effort. But somehow a tiny number of bronze planchets from the previous year remained in the die. Presses at the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints, when those leftover blanks were struck with the 1943 design, they produced one of the most famous error coins in U.S. history. Unlike the 1943 D, which is believed to be unique, a small handful of 1943 copper cents are known to exist across Philadelphia and San Francisco. Still, the number is extremely low. Experts estimate fewer than 20 examples in total. Most of them surfaced decades later when collectors are sharp-eyed. Owners noticed their unusual color compared to the common gray steel pennies, because they were never meant to be struck. Each one is a historical accident that shouldn't even exist. The value of the 1943 copper wheat penny is simply staggering. High-grade examples have sold for well over $1 million, with some crossing the 1.5 to 2 million mark, depending on condition and provenance. Every time one appears at auction, the excitement is enormous, as wealthy collectors battle to secure one of the most famous Lincoln cents ever struck. This coin perfectly shows how a simple error can transform ordinary pocket change into a millionaire's prize. Next, we will talk about the legendary 1909 SVDB wheat penny. This coin has a very special place in history because it was part of the very first year the Lincoln cent was ever struck. In 1909, the U.S. Mint replaced the Indian head cent with a brand new design featuring President Abraham Lincoln to celebrate the 100th anniversary of his birth. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and his initials VDB were placed boldly at the bottom of the reverse side. At the time, however, some critics complained that Brenner's initials were too prominent, almost like free advertising for the artist. Because of the controversy, the mint quickly removed the VDB initials after only a short production run. Before the change happened, just 484,000 coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint with both the S mint mark and the VDB initials. That tiny mintage made the 1909 S VDB one of the rarest and most sought after Lincoln cents ever created. Collectors prize this penny not only for its rarity but also for its historic importance. It marks the very beginning of the Lincoln cent series, which went on to become the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. And because of its age and scarcity, finding one in pristine condition is extremely difficult. High-grade, professionally certified examples of the 1909 SVDB have fetched staggering prices, in some cases crossing the $1 million mark at auction. Today, the 1909 SVDB is considered a must-have for serious collectors, often referred to as the cornerstone of any Lincoln cent collection. Its story proves that sometimes controversy, history, and rarity combine to create a coin that is far more than just currency. It becomes a true piece of American heritage worth a fortune. Finally, we will talk about the 1914 D wheat penny. This coin doesn't come from a minting mistake or a design controversy, but from sheer rarity combined with intense collector demand. Struck at the Denver Mint in 1914, this penny had a surprisingly low mintage of just over 1.1 million coins, a tiny number compared to the hundreds of millions of cents normally produced. Over the years, most of these pennies entered circulation and were heavily used, which means that today, examples in pristine condition are incredibly difficult to find. What makes the 1914 D so valuable is its status as a key stopper in the Lincoln cent series. Collectors aiming to complete a full set of wheat pennies often struggle with this coin, and that demand has pushed its price sky high. Lower grade examples can still be worth hundreds or thousands, but in top mint state condition, the 1914 D has crossed the $1 million mark at auction. Its appeal goes beyond just scarcity. This penny represents an era when U.S. coin production at smaller branch mints like Denver was far more limited, and every surviving example tells a story of survival through more than a century of use. Collectors see it as one of the most essential and iconic Lincoln cents to own. And because of its scarcity and high grade, it remains one of the most fiercely pursued coins on the market. Now we will talk about the 1922 no-D wheat penny. In 1922, all Lincoln cents were supposed to be minted at the Denver Mint, and every one of them should carry a small D mint mark under the date. But here's where things get interesting. Due to worn or polished dies, some pennies were struck so weakly that the D mint mark didn't appear at all. These errors produced what collectors now call the no-D variety, a coin that effectively looks like it came from Philadelphia, though none were made there that year. What truly drives collectors wild about the 1922 no-D is its rarity plus the uncertainty around how many exist, especially in high grade. Lower grade no-Ds show up more often. Their value may range from a few hundred to a few $1,000 depending on condition and how well the reverse strikes came out. But for those rare, strong reverse examples in excellent condition, values jump significantly. Recent verified auction records show that a well-preserved no-D in uncirculated or near uncirculated condition can fetch tens of thousands of dollars. One strong reverse specimen made over $80,000 in an auction, for example. But even then, it's not in the $1 million club, and yet its value is largely tied to condition, strike quality, and collector demand. So while the 922 no-D isn't, so far, one of the $1 million wheat pennies, it absolutely is one of the most exciting and high-value error coins in the Lincoln cent series. A coin every serious collector wants to lay hands on. Now we will talk about the 1931 S wheat penny. This coin comes from the very end of the wheat cent's early years and is one of the lowest mintage regular issue Lincoln cents ever made. In 1931, during the Great Depression, demand for coinage dropped dramatically, and the San Francisco Mint struck only about 866,000 pennies with the S mint mark. That number makes the 1931 one of the rarest circulation strikes in the entire wheat penny series. Unlike some other key dates, many 1931 S cents were saved by collectors right from the start, because people already recognized its unusually low mintage. That means a decent number survived in better condition, which is why circulated examples are still relatively affordable compared to other rarities. In worn condition, this coin might sell for around $75 to $200, but in higher grades, the price rises sharply. Mint state examples with strong color and sharp details can bring a $1,000 to $5,000, and some exceptional red gems have sold for over $10,000 at major auctions. The 1931 S wheat penny may not reach six-figure levels like some of the great rarities, but it holds a respected place as one of the toughest key dates to find. It's a perfect example of how even regular issue coins with low mintages can become treasures for collectors. Now we will talk about the 1955 double-die obverse wheat penny. This is without doubt one of the most famous and instantly recognizable error coins in U.S. history. The 1955 double-die obverse came about because of a striking mistake at the Philadelphia Mint, where the obverse die, the side with Lincoln's portrait, was misaligned. During the hubbing process, the result was dramatic doubling that can clearly be seen in the date 1955, and the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." The I doubling is so bold that even beginners can spot it without magnification. When these coins entered circulation, the public quickly noticed, and the 1955 double die became a sensation. Although about 20,000 to 24,000 pieces are believed to have been released, many were snatched up by collectors right away. Today, this coin holds legendary status as the king of double die errors. In terms of value, the range is wide. A circulated example may fetch anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000, depending on condition. But when you move into mint state grades, the numbers skyrocket. Uncirculated specimens can command $25,000 to $50,000, and some premium red gems have even exceeded $100,000 at auction. The 1955 double die obverse wheat penny is not only valuable, it's also a piece of American coin folklore. Collectors dream of finding one in pocket change. And while that's nearly impossible today, its legendary story keeps the excitement alive. And that brings us to the end of our journey through the world of the most valuable wheat pennies ever discovered. From the ultra-rare 1943 bronze errors worth millions, to key dates like the 1909 SVDB, 1914 D, and the famous 1955 double die, each of these coins proves one thing: sometimes the smallest treasures carry the biggest stories and values. Imagine holding a penny that could change your life. A simple copper coin once used in everyday transactions now worth thousands, even millions of dollars. So, the next time you come across an old wheat penny in your pocket change, your collection, or maybe tucked away in a family drawer, take a closer look. You might just be holding a hidden fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, their history, and their incredible values, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss an update. Who knows? The next rare coin we talk about might already be in your hands.